miracles. You have seen the things that God has done. And yet you want to turn your back on him. Yet you want to go back to those very things that didn't do anything for you. You want to go back to the drugs. You want to go back to the women. You want to go back to the men. You want to go back to those things that couldn't do nothing for you.
Yes.
All they did was temporarily make you feel good.
Yes.
Temporarily make you forget your problems. Temporarily make you forget who your God is. You turn back to your gods. You turn back to watching Empire. You turn back to watching Scandal. And all you're doing is letting that mess come into your spirit. And because it comes into your spirit, you look at that and you say, well, somewhere up in there, I can do the same thing. Somewhere in there, I'm missing out on something. But you need to know and understand that those very things are fabricated from the pits of hell.
Yes.
And they're coming on TV in order to entice us to go back into bondage. They're coming on TV in order to get us to go back into the things that God has delivered us from. And we just throw in the towel and we say, okay, because God has delayed to come, because he didn't work when I needed him to work. He may not have come on your time, but you need to know, as the saying goes, he's always right on time. God's not going to work on your timetable, but he's going to work in his own timetable. In his own time, God is going to deliver. In his own time, God is going to bless. In his own time, God is going to move on your behalf. And you just have to trust him. As the Bible says, you have to walk by faith and not by sight. Don't go by what you see. Don't go by what you feel, but go by what thus saith the Lord.
Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah. God was getting ready to wipe them out. But see, because somebody was praying for them, he said, okay, I'm not going to do anything to them, but I'm going to visit them. But when I do, I'm going to come and I'm going to visit them. But understand, there's going to be consequences for their actions. So here we go. Moses come down. Joshua says he thinks it's war, because Joshua's up on the mountain with Moses, waiting for Moses to come down. And so Joshua hears this, and he's thinking, there's war in the camp. And Moses saying, no, it's not war, but it is those that are making merry. It's not war, but it's those that are having fun. God already told him what the situation was, but he didn't realize it was as bad as it was. He didn't know exactly what it was, even though God had told him. See, because sometimes people will tell us, you can't go back over into Egypt land. Sometimes people will tell us, you can't go back out there to the crack house. They will tell you, you can't go back over there to the whorehouse, because it's got worse than what it was. And if you go back over there, you're going to stumble upon something that is worse than what you think it is. That's what the Bible tells us, that when a house is cleaned out, when all the spirits are gone, that spirit come back in and say, I'm going to go back in. But he don't go back in alone. He going to get 7 more devils to be more demonic than himself. And he comes in and he inhabits that person.
Amen.
But you got to understand, when you go back out there, this time it's going to be worse. You may have just gotten by. You may have just made it out of rehab, or whatever the situation was. You may have just made it out, and then you're going to go back. But this time when you go back, that hold on you is going to be that much stronger. This time when you go back, those devices against you are going to be that much stronger. This time when you go back, see, because the Bible tells us that the weapons that are formed against us, they shall not prosper. But when you go back, see, God will hold back those weapons from hitting you, from prospering against you. But when you go back, they get closer and closer to coming to your destruction.
Amen.
Because you have transgressed God. And it's only by his grace, only by his mercy, that we are not consumed. Hallelujah. So somebody was praying for you. And because somebody was praying for you, it caused God to repent. It caused him to hold back. But understand, consequences are going to come. See, just because when you go out there and you fornicate or you commit adultery, just because you did the act and you ask God to forgive you, doesn't mean the baby ain't coming.
Amen.
Not saying that the baby is a bad thing, because can't be no life without God. But that's the consequence that you're going to have to face. You're going to have to face the fact that, okay, you got pregnant out of wedlock. You got pregnant out of doing what you wanted to do in sin. But you're going to have to get that thing right.
Orange.
So, they were having fun. They were having a feast. They were celebrating their new gods. And they said, these are the gods that brought us out of Egypt. Were they with you when you came out of Egypt? Was this golden calf with you when you came out? I don't see how you can say this is the God that brought us out of Egypt when it wasn't even formed, it wasn't even created before you came out. But you have a God just because you don't see him working on your behalf. You have a God that has said, I will be there with you. And you want to turn your back on him. So, God tells Moses, tell the people, who's on my side? Who's on the Lord's side? See, this is where you got to make a decision. This is where you got to surrender yourself. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where it comes down to brass tacks and nickels. You got to understand what you're doing for yourself. You have to make a decision. Today is the day when you hear my voice, harden not your heart, as they did in the provocation. Today is the day to make the decision to not harden your heart. Today is the day to surrender all unto God, because you don't know what you're going to have facing you when you leave this building. You don't know what's going to face you tomorrow. You don't know what's going to face you within the next 5 minutes. But today is the day for you to decide whether I'm on the Lord's side or whether I'm going to be about my own business. Today is the day for you to choose. Choose you this day who you're going to serve. If you're going to serve God, then serve him. If you're going to serve Baal, then serve him. But don't try to say you're serving God, but yet you over here tipping and dipping and doing everything that you shouldn't be doing for God. But you said, I love the Lord, but you're committing fornication. You say, I love the Lord, but you're committing adultery. You say, I love the Lord, I'm his child, but yet and still you light up every day, and you hit up every day, and you're addicted to drugs, and you're addicted to sex, and you're addicted to this, and you're just addicted. You're infested with addiction.
Amen.
But you say, I love the Lord. Choose you this day who you're going to serve. Because the children of God, the servants of God, those are not the things that they do. You're going to have to give up some stuff. You're going to have to make up in your mind that I'm not going back this time. I'm not going back to those things that hold me back. I'm not going back to those things that have put me in bondage. I'm not going back. You're going to have to make up in your mind. Choose you this day. See, because you may not have tomorrow, and you may not have next week. People try to put it off, but tomorrow is not promised to any of us. So you need to choose this day who you're going to serve. You need to surrender while you have the chance. As the song say, you need to bow down while your knees can still bend. You need to listen while you can still hear. You need to sing and give God praise while you can still sing. While your lips can still sing. You need to do it today. Make up in your mind. Choose you this day who you're going to serve. Who is on the Lord's side? Let him come unto me. This is a cry that is going on since Moses' day. Who is on the Lord's side? Come unto me. God is crying even now. Who is on my side? Come unto me. Yeah. See, because he's raising up an army. He's raising up a people who will obey. He's raising up some of those Levites that will go to keep his word. Amen. And then what happened? When the Levites came, it was the children of Levi that came unto Moses. And then Moses told them, get your sword in your hand and go and strike them. Everyone that's your brother, your neighbor, strike them. Doesn't matter who they are. See, because there's coming a time when you're gonna pay for that you have done. It's coming a time where it's going to come upon you and you may just be killed. It may not be a physical death, but it's coming upon you a time where it's going to pierce you. It's coming a time where something's going to happen because you're going to pay for that thing that you did. You chose not to be on the Lord's side. So choosing not to be on the Lord's side, you chose to be on the enemy side. And if you're on the enemy side, you're already on the losing team. So it doesn't matter who's doing what. It doesn't matter, but if you're on there, you're going to be struck down. He's sending the sword upon the land. And this is what we need to understand even today. He's sending the sword upon the land. We don't know how it's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. But he's sending a sword upon